Whether you believe it or not, there is a creator, a supernatural force behind every creation. And this divine power has already designed keys that unlock abundance, wealth, and unstoppable favor. Tonight, I am sharing with you one of those hidden keys. This is not just another ritual or random tradition. This is a spiritual action that provokes heaven to respond. A faith-driven move that causes money to overflow into your hands and forces enemies to bow and crumble at your feet. When you take this step seriously and perform it faithfully, you will see sudden change, and doors you thought were locked forever will begin to open for you in the most unexpected ways. Imagine going to bed with your heart heavy, wondering how the next bill will be paid or how you will overcome the evil plots against your life. And then you discover that by putting one small prophetic item in your bed, by making a tiny powerful shift, you can call down divine favor that makes even the rich and powerful seek you out, eager to bless you. This is not fantasy. It is a spiritual law. What you activate by faith in the unseen, you will manifest in the natural. It is time to turn your bed from a place of worry into an altar of abundance. People think abundance comes only through endless labor, sleepless nights, and connections with the wealthy. But let me tell you, when the Creator's hand rests upon your bed, your nights become weapons, your sleep becomes sacred, and your pillow becomes the gate of breakthrough. Putting this one simple thing under your bed transforms your resting place into a battlefield of victory where curses scatter, poverty chains break, and blessings begin to hunt you down. The moment you align yourself with this action, heaven responds swiftly and powerfully. Many ignore the spiritual symbolism of the bed, yet it is where dreams are formed, where visions are birthed, and where the enemy often comes at night to plant seeds of fear, delay, and destruction. If you only knew how many attacks were planned against you while you were asleep, you would not take this revelation lightly. But the good news is that when you place this prophetic token under your pillow, you create a shield of fire that burns away the works of darkness. You allow your spirit to receive messages of favor while rejecting whispers of defeat. This action is not about magic or superstition. It is about faith and prophetic obedience. It is about turning your bed into a declaration. Money will overflow and enemies will fall. That simple line becomes your nightly covenant with heaven. Every time you lay your head down, you remind yourself and you announce to the spiritual realm that your destiny is not to suffer, lack, or be defeated by your enemies. Your destiny is overflow, and your testimony will embarrass every demonic plot formed against you. Some of you have been crying out for years, wondering why doors remain closed, why blessings keep slipping through your fingers, and why enemies seem to prosper while you struggle. But tonight, this will change. By using this one act, you will turn the tables in your favor. You will rise from being the one overlooked to being the one sought after. The wealthy will notice you. Opportunities will locate you, and enemies will fall into their own traps. You are not cursed. You are chosen for overflow, and this simple act of faith will prove it. So listen closely. The next 7 nights are not ordinary. They are your 7 prophetic nights of transformation. They are your 7 nights of sealing your abundance and commanding your enemies to bow. Do not dismiss this as a coincidence that you are hearing it now. This is divine timing. The Creator has chosen this moment to deliver a key into your hands. And if you obey, your life will never remain the same again. The first thing you must understand is the meaning of the bed in the spiritual realm. To you, it may be just a place of rest. But in the unseen, your bed is a foundation where your soul interacts with mysteries of light and darkness. The enemy knows this, which is why most attacks are launched in dreams, because the bed is a gateway. When you deliberately place something under your bed or pillow, you are speaking to the unseen world and declaring what kind of seed will grow there. By putting a prophetic token under your bed, you are planting a spiritual seed that will produce fruit in your waking life. This is why I say with confidence that when you place this small item in faith, it is not ordinary. Heaven recognizes it as a covenant. Now think about the power of writing. Words create, words destroy, words shape destiny. When you take a clean sheet of paper and boldly write the declaration, money will overflow and enemies will fall. You are not just scribbling letters. You are inscribing your reality, commanding your atmosphere, and binding heaven and earth to your declaration. The act of writing is agreement. And when you fold that paper toward yourself, you are drawing abundance closer to you. It becomes a magnet that pulls favor, opportunities, and resources into your life while simultaneously pushing away poverty, delays, and plots of enemies. The coin, small as it may be, carries heavy symbolism. For generations, coins have represented wealth, value, and exchange. By placing even a single coin inside the envelope with your declaration, you are laying down a token that attracts more of its kind. It is like sowing a seed. You never reap exactly what you sow. You always reap multiplied. That coin, when joined with faith, says to the spiritual realm, I am ready for multiplication. I am ready for overflow. Do not despise the smallness of the act, because heaven delights in multiplying the small until it becomes exceedingly great. Then there is the cinnamon stick or bay leaf. These are not random kitchen ingredients. They are spiritual fragrances recognized throughout history. Cinnamon carries the vibration of sweetness, favor, and remembrance. Bay leaf has long been associated with victory and triumph. By including them in your prophetic envelope, you are sending a signal to heaven and earth. My life will be remembered for favor. My steps will smell of sweetness, and my destiny will carry the fragrance of victory. When these natural items meet your faith, they shift your spiritual atmosphere and open the door for money to overflow. And what about the oil? Even one single drop of olive oil or anointing oil transforms an ordinary act into a consecrated covenant. Oil has always symbolized divine favor, breakthrough, and kingship. When you touch that paper or envelope with oil, you are not just sealing it. You are dedicating it to God's power. You are saying, this is holy. This is set apart. This is untouchable by evil hands. That drop of oil becomes a mark of heaven on your request. And once heaven marks it, no enemy can erase it. Many people wonder why things do not shift for them, even though they pray. The truth is, prayer without prophetic action often remains as words in the air. But when you combine your prayer with a physical step, when you put your faith into action, you provoke heaven to move. This is the difference between asking and receiving. The envelope under your bed becomes a physical testimony that your faith is not empty. It is alive. It is visible. It is active. This is why testimonies will spring forth. For those who take this seriously, understand also that the enemy operates most aggressively at night. While you sleep, they plant confusion, delay, and failure into your dreams. But when you put this prophetic envelope under your pillow, you are declaring war on those night attacks, and your bed becomes surrounded by fire. Your spirit becomes shielded, and your enemies lose their power to infiltrate your dreams. Instead of nightmares, you will begin to dream of open doors, of breakthroughs, of divine instructions that lead you to wealth. Every time you lay down, that envelope speaks on your behalf. It whispers into the spiritual realm. This child of God is marked for abundance. This household is covered. This destiny is untouchable. You may not see it with your natural eyes, but your enemies will see it. They will approach your life and suddenly stumble. They will plot against you and suddenly collapse. You will rise in the morning refreshed, knowing that your bed is no longer a place of attack, but a place of covenant. Let me also remind you that the act of putting something under your pillow is not a modern invention. For centuries, people of faith have placed symbols, scriptures, or tokens near their sleeping places to invite divine presence and repel evil. What I am sharing with you now is an ancient principle reactivated for your situation. It is not superstition. It is a divine strategy to turn your nights into weapons of breakthrough. The difference is that you are doing it in faith, guided by revelation, with the clear intention of commanding money to overflow and enemies to fall. So when you gather your paper, your coin, your cinnamon or bay leaf, and your drop of oil, do not see them as mere objects. See them as weapons. See them as declarations. See them as partners in your journey toward abundance. Place them together in the envelope and hold it close before you sleep. Whisper the words, money will overflow and enemies will fall, and then slip it under your bed. In that moment, heaven takes notice, and the spiritual realm bows to the authority of your faith. When you combine prayer with symbolic action, you ignite a spiritual law that cannot be broken. Words are powerful, but when you anchor those words to a physical object, you give them weight in the unseen world. That envelope under your pillow is not just a container of paper, coin, and cinnamon. It is a living altar, a point of contact between your faith and heaven's response. Every night you lie down, your declaration is not silent. It vibrates. It speaks. It cries out in the spiritual dimension, commanding favor to rush toward you and commanding enemies to stumble before they ever reach your door. Sealing your declaration is another act many overlook, yet it carries deep meaning. When you fold the paper inward and seal the envelope, you are shutting the door against poverty and opening the door to overflow. It is a spiritual lock that prevents the enemy from tampering with your words. Unsealed words can be stolen, twisted, or resisted. But sealed words become hidden treasures guarded by heaven itself. When you place that sealed envelope under your bed, you are literally saying, what is written here is final. It cannot be reversed. It cannot be stopped. The coin inside that envelope is more than a symbol. It is a seed. Seeds are never meant to stay the same. Their destiny is to grow and multiply. Just as you never plant one seed and expect one seed back, so also you will never place that coin under your bed and receive only that coin back. You are declaring by faith that multiplication must find you. Financial doors will begin to open. Opportunities will locate you. Divine connections will chase after you. And unexpected provision will overflow into your hands. That coin is heaven's invitation for multiplication to begin in your life. Then there is the oil. Even one drop on that envelope changes everything. All sanctifies. It sets apart, it consecrates. You are not just doing a physical act. You are consecrating your request before God. That oil speaks louder than your enemies. It says, touch not this destiny, touch not this destiny, touch not this life. While others may toil endlessly and remain empty, your all-marked declaration will stand out in the spiritual realm as one already approved for abundance. This is why I say with boldness, money will overflow and enemies will fall. Think also about the bed itself. Too many underestimate its spiritual significance. The bed is a gate between the conscious and subconscious, between the physical and the spiritual. Dreams are formed there. Visions are birthed there. Attacks are launched there. But when you place that prophetic envelope under your bed, you reclaim that gate for yourself. No longer will your sleep be stolen by fear, nightmares, or invisible battles. Instead, your nights will be filled with divine instruction, angelic visitations, and dreams that lead you into financial overflow. Placing the declaration under your bed